Right now, light is passing through your eyes. It is bouncing off your screen. It is filling the room around you, and you have no idea what it actually is. Not really. You will say light is what lets you see, but close your eyes. Light is still there. You just stop detecting it. So light is not about seeing. Then what is it? You will say light is brightness. But brightness is something your brain invents. It happens inside your skull, not out in the world. The thing we call light exists even in places no eye has ever looked. You will say, light is fast, the fastest thing possible. And that is true, but why? Why is there a speed limit in the universe at all? And why does light perfectly match that limit, never faster, never slower? Here is what makes this strange. Light has no mass, nothing, zero. Yet it pushes objects when it hits them. It bends when it passes near stars. It carries energy across billions of kilometers of empty space. How does something with no substance do any of this? The answer breaks almost every intuition you have about energy, about time, about what it means for something to exist at all. In the next 20 minutes, I will take apart everything you think you know about light, piece by piece, and I will show you what physics actually discovered. It is stranger than you expect. It is simpler than you fear. And once you see it, you will never look at a lamp the same way again. Stay with me until the end. This lecture will change how you understand reality itself. If that sounds like something worth your time, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit the like button. It helps more people find this content. And it tells me you want more lectures like this one. Now, let us begin. What you think light is, you believe light is what lets you see. It is brightness. It is the glow from a lamp. It is what fills a room when you flip a switch. This belief feels so natural that you never question it. The reason it feels obvious is simple. You experience light every day. Your eyes open and light is there. No one taught you to believe this. Experience did. But here is the problem. Brightness is not light. Brightness is what your brain creates after light enters your eyes. You have confused the effect with the cause. The glow you see is a response inside your head. It is not the thing itself. Language makes this worse. We say light shines and glows. We talk about light as if it were a substance, something that pours out of bulbs and fills empty space. This language hides a deeper truth. Light does not behave like a substance at all. Your confidence comes from repetition, not understanding. You have seen light 1,000,000 times. But seeing something does not mean knowing what it is. A fish sees water every moment of its life. That does not mean the fish understands water. Here is a simple test. Close your eyes. Light still exists around you. It bounces off walls. It passes through windows. But you see nothing. The light did not disappear. Your experience of it did. This alone proves that light and brightness are not the same. Your intuition was built for survival, not for truth. To understand light, you must first accept that everything you assumed about it is incomplete. How your brain constructs. Your eyes do not show you light. They detect signals and send them to your brain. Your brain then builds an image. What you see is a construction, not a direct view of reality. Color is a perfect example. The sky is not blue. Blue is what your brain creates when certain signals arrive. Another person might see the same sky slightly differently. Some animals see colors you cannot. The sky did not change. The brain's processing it did. Evolution did not design your eyes for truth. It designed them for survival. You needed to spot food, avoid danger, and recognize faces. Accuracy was never the goal. Usefulness was. This is why people agree on most things they see. Human brains are built the same way. But agreement does not equal truth. Every human could agree on something and still be wrong about the physical reality behind it. Light exists whether you see it or not. It existed before eyes evolved. It exists in places no living thing has ever been. Your experience of light is a small translation of something much larger. Reality does not wait for observers. What physics actually measures physics does not define light as brightness or color. Those are experiences inside your head. Physics defines light as a disturbance in the electromagnetic field that carries energy through space. This sounds abstract, but it becomes clear when you ask what physicists actually measure. They measure frequency, how fast the field oscillates. They measure wavelength, the distance between peaks. They measure energy, how much the disturbance carries. None of these require eyes or experience. When you ask what color something is, physics answers with a number. Red light oscillates slower. Blue light oscillates faster. The number is precise. The experience you call color is not. This definition feels unsatisfying because it removes everything familiar. There is no glow in the equation, no warmth, no beauty, just oscillating fields moving through space at a fixed speed. But something important happens when you accept this. Confusing questions disappear. What is light made of? Wrong question. Light is not made of anything. It is a pattern of change in fields that already exist everywhere. Everyday language fails here. Words like shine, glow, and beam describe experience, not physics. The accurate description is less poetic. A changing electric field creates a magnetic field. That magnetic field creates an electric field. This cycle repeats and moves forward. That is light. Comfort is replaced by clarity. The lake without water, think of a calm lake. You drop a stone into it. Ripples spread outward. But here's the key point. The water does not travel to the shore. Only the disturbance moves. The water stays mostly where it was. Light works similarly, but there is no water. There is no material at all. What ripples is the electromagnetic field. This field exists everywhere in space. When something disturbs it, that disturbance travels outward. That traveling disturbance is light. This analogy helps because it removes the idea that something physical is being transported. Nothing is flying from the sun to your eyes. A pattern of change is moving through fields that already fill all of space. But the analogy also fails in important ways. Water waves need water. Light needs nothing. The field is not a substance. It is a property of space itself. There is no medium to carry the wave. The wave carries itself. Words like wave and particle make this harder. A wave suggests something waving. A particle suggests a tiny object. Light is neither. It behaves like waves during travel and like particles during interaction. Both words are approximations from everyday experience forced onto something that fits neither. The structure matters more than the label. Changing fields sustain each other and propagate forward. That process is what light actually is. When conditions expose the rules, under normal conditions, light behaves in ways you expect. It travels in straight lines, it bounces off mirrors, it passes through glass. Nothing seems strange, but push conditions to extremes and intuition collapses. Shine light on metal. You expect brighter light to knock electrons out more easily. It does not. Only higher frequency light releases electrons. Brightness does not matter if the frequency is too low. This is the photoelectric effect. It forced physics to accept that light delivers energy in packets, not smooth streams. Now consider gravity. Light has no mass, yet it bends when passing near stars and galaxies. Photographs confirm this. How can something without mass respond to gravity? Because gravity does not pull on mass alone. Gravity shapes space itself. Light follows that shape because everything must. These results seem impossible only because your brain evolved on Earth. You never encountered high-frequency radiation or extreme gravity. Your intuition was never built for these conditions. Nothing is broken in these experiments. Light obeys the same rules everywhere. The rules simply extend beyond what you can feel or see. Consistency remains perfect. Only intuition fails. The universe does not adjust itself to match human expectation. When conditions expose the rules hold. Your assumptions do not. Why light seems one way? Light appears to move in one direction. The sun emits it. Your eyes receive it. A lamp sends light outward. It never seems to run backward. But the fundamental equations do not require this. They allow light to move either way in time. If you filmed light traveling and played the video in reverse, the physics would still be valid. Nothing in the equations forbids it. So why does experience feel one way? The answer is probability. The sun is hot. Space is cold. Energy flows from concentrated sources into spread out emptiness. This is not a law about light specifically. It is a law about how disorder increases. Energy scatters. It does not spontaneously gather. Your memory depends on this asymmetry. To form a memory, your brain must receive energy, process it, and store changes. This only works because energy flows in a consistent direction. Without that flow, memory would not exist. You would not experience time as moving forward. In equilibrium, direction disappears. If everything reached the same temperature, emission and absorption would balance perfectly. Light would still exist, but the sense of direction would vanish. The one-way feeling is real, but it comes from thermodynamics, not from light itself. Light obeys symmetric rules. The universe around it does not. Light destroys universal time. You feel that now is the same everywhere. This moment exists for you and for someone across the world simultaneously. This intuition feels unquestionable. Light destroys it. The speed of light is constant. It does not change based on how fast you move. This single fact has enormous consequences. If two people are moving differently through space, they will disagree about which events happen at the same time. Imagine a flash of light in the center of a moving train. A passenger sees the light reach both ends together. A person standing outside sees it reach one end first. Both are correct. Neither is wrong. There is no master clock to settle the disagreement. This means now is not universal, depends on motion. Two observers moving differently slice reality into different moments. What is present for one may be past or future for another. What remains constant is not time. It is the speed of light itself. That is the anchor. Time and space are just around it. Your intuition fails here because you have never moved fast enough to notice. At everyday speeds, disagreements about time are too tiny to detect, but they are real. But understanding actually costs. Look at what collapsed. Light is not brightness. Color is not real. Now is not universal. Mass is not required for gravity to act. Waves and particles are both incomplete descriptions. What replace these intuitions? Electromagnetic fields that sustain themselves. Energy delivered in discrete packets. Space-time shaped by gravity. A constant speed that bends time around it. These replacements are harder to hold in your mind. They do not match daily experience. That discomfort is not a sign of failure. It is the cost of understanding. Language will always fail here. Words evolve for objects you can touch and throw. They were never designed for oscillating fields or relative simultaneity. Every sentence about light is an approximation. Understanding comes in layers. Each answer reveals new questions beneath it. Why do the constants have the values they do? Why does the electromagnetic field exist at all? Physics does not yet know. Certainty is dangerous. It pretends understanding is complete when it never is. The confident feeling you had at the start was an illusion. Confusion is more honest. If this leaves you unsettled, good. That discomfort marks the boundary between old assumptions and accurate models. Confusion is not the enemy of progress, it is the evidence of it.